A red flag warning takes effect, increasing San Diego's fire risk for several days. The preparations underway to keep any fire that may spark from growing out of control.
From a vaccine distribution plan to concerns of spreading COVID during the holidays, the latest from the county.
And as part of our season of hope, we're checking back in with the San Diego nurse who danced her way into America's heart while on the front lines in hard-hit New York. What drove her to answer the call again to help people in another state overwhelmed by the virus.
ABC 10 News at 6 starts now.
The next few days are crucial. A red flag warning just took effect moments ago, and conditions will nearly mimic those that produced the Lilac Fire 3 years ago. Good evening. I'm Kimberly Hunt.
And I'm Steve Atkinson. Tens of thousands of people across the county have been warned that their power might be shut off. Our ABC 10 News reporter Mimi Alcala spoke with CAL FIRE about their preparations and has more from Alpine.
The red flag warning is now in effect for San Diego County, and here in Alpine, the winds have already started to pick up, but they are expected to get stronger.
The fuels out there are very dry. The grass and brush were historically dry levels.
Low humidity, dry brush, and high winds, a combination creating fire danger across San Diego County for the next several days.
We have that wind component. The biggest concern is that these fires move so quickly that we're not able to get a handle on the perimeter because they start spotting well outside of themselves.
More than 95,000 SDG&E customers have been warned that they're at risk of possibly losing power during public safety power shutoffs. You can see on this map here several areas are impacted this time around, including much of the East County, but also communities in the North County and the South Bay.
We're staffed up at our peak levels. That's the same that we were staffed up in midsummer.
CAL FIRE Public Information Officer Thomas Schutz says fire crews are ready to respond during this red flag warning. He says they have extra engines, hand crews, and 7 helicopters ready in case a fire breaks out, but they need the public's help. Make sure dry brush is cleared around your home without using any power tools, and have an evacuation plan ready to go.
Think about what you and your family are going to do if you don't have power, if you don't have the ability to get information quickly. What are your next steps? This is something to take serious. It's not time to get complacent.
And many people are working from home and going to school from home, so remember to have that plan in place in case your power is turned off for several days. Reporting in Alpine, Mimi Alcala, ABC 10 News.
And in just the last hour, the Poway Unified School District said it was keeping an eye on the potential for their power shutoffs. It says it's working to make sure any students who may be affected are taken care of. Our meteorologist Angelica Campos is tracking those red flag conditions tonight as well. She joins us live. Hello, Angelica.
And Stephen, the red flag warning is officially in effect. Of course, we're running out of time as far as preparations because the winds are only going to get stronger as we go into the next couple of hours through tomorrow. Let me show you what's going to be happening out there. This red flag warning will be in effect until 10 p.m. on Saturday, including our valleys, also our foothills and mountains. Right now, the wind's gusting up to 37 miles per hour in Alpine, and it has been increasingly windy in places like Julian, Poway, and we're expecting again those winds to get stronger, especially after 10 p.m. tonight when the high wind warning will go into effect. It'll stay in effect until 6 p.m. tomorrow. Areas under this high wind warning could experience wind gusts over 50 miles per hour and potentially as strong as 80 miles per hour, strong enough to bring down trees and power lines. So we're talking about the fire danger and also damaging wind potential as we go into the next 24 hours. Coming up, I'll show you what the temperatures would look like overnight and into the next couple of days as temperatures will start to drop.
We'll see you then. Thanks, Angelica. A Hamul family that was hit hard by the Valley Fire in September is worried another fire could end their hopes of rebuilding. Hidden Haven Farms lost most of its crops and irrigation lines in the Valley Fire. Damage totaled $250,000. And yesterday, one of the owners says SDG&E called and warned they may lose power, part of a possible public safety shutoff. But beyond the potential of losing power, the farm is worried about the red flag conditions, dry brush, and strong winds.
There's flammable material on adjacent properties, and it could always come onto our property and burn what we have, what didn't burn the first time.
The owner spent today trimming brush from the buildings and checking his backup power in case of a shutoff. He also says neighbors stepped up with donations to help after the Valley fire. You can get the latest information on public safety shutoffs, weather conditions, and any fires that may spark with the ABC 10 News app. You can find that free in the App Store.
We have some breaking news. The family of a 19-year-old San Diego State student who died after falling from his bunk bed after a night of drinking is now filing a wrongful death lawsuit. That lawsuit is against the university, the fraternity he was pledging, and the manufacturer of the bed he fell from. Back in November of 2019, that is, two people found Dylan Hernandez on the floor and put him back to bed. A few hours later, he was found unresponsive and eventually died. In July, it was announced that no criminal charges were pursued. The death was ruled accidental. Coronavirus cases and hospitalizations are rising at a startling rate in our county. Today, health officials warned that the numbers could surge over the upcoming holidays if more people ignore those precautions. Our ABC 10 News reporter Jennifer Kastner is live with the county's vaccine distribution plan. Jen.
Yeah, and Steve, today the county reminded everyone that this week we passed 1,000 COVID deaths here in San Diego. We are now at 1,035 total fatalities. Today the county said that 28,000 doses are expected to be sent to San Diego in the very first delivery after we learned earlier this week that the state could start receiving vaccines from Pfizer by mid-December. Dr. Wooten said the county has one freezer to store the vaccines, but the county has ordered more from the state. These vaccines, we learned today, will be allocated in very specific phases. Priority distribution will go to phase 1A, which includes healthcare workers, nursing home patients, and nursing home employees. Then vaccines will go out to people with underlying medical conditions. Phase 2 will go to teachers, food supply workers, essential workers, people in jails, also older adults. Phase 3 for children and adults under 30, and phase 4 everyone else. Also today, the county warned about the climbing case numbers and how San Diegans need to treat this holiday season differently in order to help curb the spread.
This is not the year for caroling. This is not the year for ugly holiday sweater contests. This is a year for sitting on the couch with some hot cocoa and watching your favorite holiday specials on television.
And the county also talked today about the toll that this is taking on our local hospitals. The CEO of Sharp Healthcare also spoke today. He said of its 184 ICU beds, only 25 of them are free at this time. Reporting live tonight, Jennifer Kastner, ABC 10 News.
Jen, thank you. The county's 14-day rolling average for positive cases is holding at just under 6.5%. And here are the latest numbers. More than 1,200 new cases of COVID-19. They were reported in the county. That brings the total to 84,600. There were also 16 new deaths reported. 1,035 San Diegans have now died from this virus.
The first COVID-19 vaccine could get emergency FDA approval sometime this month. But there are concerns that that could complicate the search for the best vaccine. Our partners at KPBS report that's because fewer people may be willing to take part in a vaccine trial if one has already been approved. Researchers at UC San Diego, which is administering local trials for AstraZeneca and other companies, say they need to enroll hundreds of thousands of volunteers for an accurate study. Fewer volunteers could jeopardize the long-term data needed to produce multiple vaccines.
It would be nearly impossible for one pharmaceutical company to generate enough doses of vaccine to vaccinate the U.S., let alone the world.
Meantime, researchers hope people will still be willing to help with the trials, even after one gets emergency approval. And you can find the latest information on vaccines and local trials, as well as more coronavirus resources at 10news.com. With holidays in full swing, ABC 10 News is taking a few moments every day throughout December to show you what San Diegans are grateful for after this long year. We call it a season of hope.
My husband and our puppy, I will get home from a really tough day and they just make it all worth it.
Grateful that I've stayed healthy, that I have my family in good health and good spirits.
It's just realizing what the real important things are, which are your family, your friends, your health,